And I said it would be really funny if the real Starfall came into the chat after the stream and saw that everyone in chat was spamming "We are Starfall," and then they did. It was awesome, and they were like, "What is happening?" Yeah, Gigantha indicates Tron, so I think I'd like to, mulligan that hand. Let's keep this one. I think I'm gonna put back Kroxa. It's either that or the third land. We'll put back the third land. The draw. And ideally, I'd really like to Thoughtseize after playing Voidwalker, and then I guess with them playing Saga on turn 1, like we can afford to. Wait, hold on. Gigantha, Saga, Springleaf Drum. Oh, it's Affinity. Gross. Well, this hand sucks against Affinity. Bummer. If they don't have a second land, we're okay. Or an untapped land. I mean, if we can draw an answer to Thought Monitor... Okay, so next turn we can Voidwalker the Thought Monitor. Which is, not great, but it's our plan at least. Yeah, I don't have a million Shattering Sprees on the board because Affinity's definitely not been super popular lately. But we do have still a bunch of Alpine Moons for the Sagas, we have a bunch of Explosives, and we have Kolaghan's Command, so I'm not too worried about this matchup. Just a little worried. They probably get Shadow Spear. They could maybe get another Drum if they have like another Thought Monitor. You have an example of the kind of burn deck you were talking about. If you type !deck and go to the Stream Decker, you can find it in the Stream Decker. Why is Voidwalker good versus Tron and Amulet Titan? You just can steal their big threats with it, cast it for 0 mana with Voidwalker. But not when they needle it. We're probably just going to go to game 2. The idea is Spellbomb is an answer to Sanctifier in Vec, and Sanctifier is the best card against this deck. Yeah, it kind of stinks. Like, I feel like our first hand was way better against Affinity, but because they revealed Gigantha, I assumed that they were on Tron, which is like obviously a big part of playing their deck, is they get to make that that juke. Sideboard something like this. I kind of want the 4th Thoughtseize. Don't think I want any Void Mirrors. Do I think that do I have a list for the Naya Saga deck I played against in the challenge? I don't know. I didn't see that match. I heard about it, but I don't know. I didn't see the match. Alright, this hand's fine. Probably just put back the second Explosives. I'll lead on Thoughtseize here. Can maybe just like snag a Drum that's important for their hand. Crypt, Midnight, Frogmite, Monitor. Well, I'm just gonna take the Monitor. Spellbomb for its champion. Oh yeah, that's probably good. Wait, do they play its champion? I'm not sure. Pretty sure I'm just supposed to, get them off of Affinity here. Let's get a 4-for-1. Looks a lot like the green red traverse deck, yeah. Probably. Just gonna cast the Ragavan. People dash way too much. Can kill the Frogmite and start getting in. They put Gigantha in their hand. They drew Plating. But do they feel like they can attack? They do. I could upkeep. I think it's probably just better to take the draw. Where here I can hit them with Ragavan to get an extra Surveil. That's another Surveil too. It's kind of funny. Unholy Heat. I'm just gonna go ahead and graveyard that. We're gonna get a lot of looks here, so let's. I think filling up our graveyard somewhat aggressively is good here. And I'll kill the Frogmite now, but I think putting them from 5 artifacts to 4 artifacts is probably not super relevant, you know. Okay, still a couple types away from Delirium thanks to their Tormod's Crypts. And I would like to have an answer to that soon. Hit my opponent here. It cost me 2 mana. I think I'd probably just rather play Voidwalker. Then maybe we should upkeep both them. Just try to... I guess we don't kill them. We put them to 1 if we hit Delirium. How relevant are the legendary lands? They're pretty good. Relevant's kind of a hard word to quantify maybe, but they're good. Okay, didn't find Delirium, unfortunately. Big draw step. Okay. So we deny them chapter 3. We can play an Urza Saga, which will give us Delirium. Because we sacked the Voidwalker. It's probably fine. Remember, Alpine Moon's not symmetrical. Then I'll just leave the Ragavan back to block the constructs. And try to kill them in the air next turn. Alright, we win. Cool. Did lose like Galvanic Blast there. I think on the draw, I want to cut the 3rd Voidwalker for the first Inquisition. No, we didn't cast Saga off Monkey, we cast it off Voidwalker. You can't play lands off Ragavan, but you can play them off Voidwalker. This hand's good enough to keep. You love to see it. Ban Urza Saga. Except you just kind of win the game when they have Urza Saga and you have Alpine Moon most of the time. Which character from Naruto is my favorite? Rock Lee. For sure, Rock Lee. Believe it. Alright, so this is not an artifact. So next turn they can cast either Frogmite or Plating. Just gotta take the Thought Monitor. I think I'm relatively happy trading Ragavan for Frogmite. Did it feel bad or a bit of a bad run? The deck we played last round? A bit of both. I don't think the deck's super competitive. I think it's more playable than what we saw. I think we hit like kind of a bad end of variance, but they're just letting me hit them with Ragavan. Kind of weird. Usually people are like so afraid. I have 2 explosives. I guess maybe I should have done this first. I'll just trade the first copy with the welding jar. Yeah, the regeneration takes it out of combat, but I've got 2 explosives, so I think I just want to play 1 here. And then I'll heat after the equip, unless 1, 2, 3, 6. The last card in hand is Urza Saga. So they draw Thought Monitor. It costs 3 mana, and they can play it off of the. They can play it off of the Springleaf Drum. So I'm actually gonna just kill the Frogmite now to stop them from top decking exactly Thought Monitor, which I feel like is the only way they can ever get back into this game. That was their draw step. Then they put Chingenta into their hand. The Loam deck didn't do very well. I didn't really have high hopes for it. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. I did. Go Channeler, Drum. Keep that on top. Then I can put Lurrus in my hand, or I can just Kroxa. I feel like Kroxa doesn't really do much here. So I'm just go Lurrus. And see what we hit them with. One mana Frogmite. Not really that worried about them. Hardcasting Giganta. Oh, I use my treasure. Now I don't get a 0 mana Frogmite. Okay, rested. Sorry, Frogmite. I meant to cast you. I miscalculated. Putting Companion in hand is only activated as a sorcery. Is Rock different than Red-Black DRC? No, it's just mostly semantics. They didn't equip. I guess they're just kind of off of it. It does feel good that I think this version of the deck is good again, just because I really, really like this version. But now with like Tron picking back up, this deck is like very, very good against Tron. It's like the best variant against it. Do you have any communication with Prince? They messaged me like very early into the race asking if they could post memes about our competition. I said of course, and then as far as I know, only one meme has been posted, but that's the extent of the communication I've had with Prince. Apparently they were in our chat kind of recently, and they were just like drowned out. I didn't see them, but I would love to say something. But Prince seems really nice from everything I've seen, for sure. It's probably playing Bad Nas. Not really sure how good or bad this matchup is. Voidwalker with Angel's Grace is usually quite good. See the Truth discarded. Well, oh, they're just playing a Sultai pile. Prince does stream from time to time. I would love to raid Prince one day if they're ever live, but I've never seen them be live. Has there been a public race like this for the MTGO leaderboard? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe. I'm sure some people have like done very similar things. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not like the first person to ever do anything like this, but at least as long as I've been streaming in the modern category, I don't think there's been anything like this. It's fine. Kroxa is just usually so good against decks like this. We're gonna go for Lurrus Ragavan next turn though. Seen trophy races for Cube? Yeah, I know Cedric was doing that recently. What happens if Dress Down is turned into a creature? Don't ask me. I have no idea. Don't want to think about it. Okay, this is fine. We have Kolaghan's command. Shouldn't you have fetched in case you draw another one of Kroxa? Maybe. Maybe that's better. I kind of feel like I'm not super likely to want to do that though. Please update Stream Deck with the list. I thought I did. I know that. I'm sorry that Stream Deck has been such a pain. I'll try to switch. Yeah, I guess I should have fetched, huh? Yeah, it's this deck is set as the deck. I've just been having issues with Stream Decker. That's a card. Nice Liliana of the Veil. The Paucity on X1 dropping. We've been dropping at X1. I guess not when we're 3-0, but I like that's good. That's been the policy until we catch up to Prince. We just haven't been able to. But maybe we'll catch up today, and then we just we go back to normal for a little bit. I've been trophying less since I've been X1 dropping, which feels a bit bad. We trophied with Blue-Red Murktide earlier today. Sorry, not dropping at 3-1. Misspoke. So I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Okay, thank you for your patience, everybody. You guys want to keep this hand? I think it's probably just about good enough, huh? Woo! Opponents living out here, man. They're just living. We're super dead. This card's really good against us, by the way. This card's really good against us. It could be a hard one to beat. Man, Modern is fun, dude. People are just out here doing whatever they want. Try and Voidwalker it? Oh, that'd be pretty cool. I have to play that at sorcery speed, though. I think I'll go channel with Thoughtseize this turn. They do have, Planeswalkers. Well, Ashiok's kind of obnoxiously good here. Postboard gifting 2 more subs, you're ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Did you want a deck tech or something? Because you don't have to, you could just have a bunch of those if you want. They did it! No, they did it. The madman. The absolute mad lad. All right. I might cast a Charlotte Agent next turn. Oh, I don't have enough black for that, so I guess I just graveyard. I would have kept if I had enough. You just want your invisible trophy. How about mod ship post board? Just buy your way to mod ship. Cantor got 3 4-1 today. Instead of this stream, I got you tomorrow, Spike. I love Canister, dude. The dry delivery is so good. This is coming out next turn. It is. It is. Well, hopefully they can't beat a Kroxa. They discarded a land. Oh no, I meant to play the Cliffs. Come on. Oops. To 6 cards though. Take me down to 9. I'm gonna be real upset if I draw Unholy Heats. Okay. Second Cliffs also feels bad, but not as bad, I guess. Yeah, I'm shuffling cards. I hope it's not too distracting. Well, I guess I could have played around that by main phasing. It's on me. Do I bring in Voidmere? There's Shardless Agent Ancestral Visions deck. I'll play a Voidmere. I'll put a Voidmere in my deck. Chalice on 0. Voidmere is better. You think on both? I don't know. I don't really want to draw too many. Like, it also shuts off my Baubles. Shuts off my Voidwalker. I think I just want to put one in the deck. I feel like this deck is stronger than Grixis Shadow. This deck is a lot better against Tron. And Tron is pretty popular at the moment. Even hear bathroom noises? Oh, man. Yeah, all my mic settings got reset today, I think. Is it Voidmere worse than Chalice on 0? Chalice stops the cascade stuff too? No, I mean, they're not only cascading into Ancestral Visions. They have Tarmogoyf in their deck. Chalice only stops if they cascade into Visions. Voidmere stops anything they cascade into. I'm very content with our mutually beneficial relationship. Sounds good, buddy. Sounds good. Yeah, we're gonna keep playing the Thing in the Ice deck. I think that deck is good. I know this is like basically every single person in the chat has gone through this, so maybe you can comment with which deck this happened to you with. Where you come to twitch.tv/aspiringspike for a deck I'm working on, you really like it, and then I end up stop playing it for a while. But usually, if you stick around long enough, we end up circling back to most lists we work on. But I do still like that deck. I would definitely still recommend it. Well, we drew the Voidmere. I'd say that's true for a lot of people in the chat, probably. But maybe you'll find another deck I'm working on that you'll like, too. Opponent just never able to kill turn 1 monkey. Yeah, well, yeah, the monkey ban really hurt the Super Friends deck. Still waiting to loop back to Grixis Control. We've been playing a lot of blue-black X Control and Grixis decks. Maybe not specifically, the first Grixis Control deck, but I think close enough. Let's Inquisition this turn. I think it could be fine to just put Lurrus in our hand, too. Because we have to take the Goyf. Okay, they drew something. Probably a Goyf. Good old Thoughtseize bug, right? Why is Serum Visions in their deck? They put 2 cards on the bottom. Serum Vision's kind of bad against Ragavan. I guess I'm not opposed to putting a Brazen Borrower into play. I guess I should have tapped different though. Let's leave up the bolt. Alright, let's see what you get. Wrong visions. Wrong visions. Unfortunately. Well, I laughed way too hard at that. It's gonna deal 2 damage to them. Get Delirium, hit them for 9. They might actually be dead here. Xaxes. I don't know, Doom. I mean, my opponent's just living their best life, you know. They get their 6 Sultai deck. They're really happy with it, I'm sure. Alright. Keep. Yeah, condense all the losses to the Bad Brews. What if Cascade couldn't hit cards with no casting cost? I don't know. Then Rhino's deck wouldn't exist, right? I mean, that's exactly what you're saying, but if you're asking me, would that be better? I don't know. I don't think that Rhinos you're living in are really that big of problems. Shinka, the Bloodsoaked Keep on top. I want to shuffle that. I don't know if I want to get a basic mount. I guess I need to get Blood Crypt because of Voidwalker. 10 is just like over if we're on the play. Favorite deck of all time? I don't know that I necessarily have one. I've got lots of decks that I like. Oh, I mean, never mind. It's just got to be Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam Tendrils. What doesn't have a 2-mana creature in their hand? Or a 1-mana creature. So unlucky you can't cast that. What does this keep? This has been... We've had some sketchy opponents today, or I don't know. Some freebies, I'll tell you that. Did they mulligan? They did go to 6, okay. What are my thoughts on Team Tron? I hear that Evan's gonna play it, and yeah, I mean, they should have Phantasmal when it was Ragavan, I think. I keep hearing that Evan's gonna play it. I'm excited for it, but I don't know what the deck looks like. I always wonder it's more about the Cascade decks keep out than being inherently good. I don't know. I talk about this a lot, but I think that linear decks in Modern are really, really important to the format's identity, and I think, you know, the format's health in general. I know that might come as a surprise because I am someone who plays a lot of non-linear decks, but if linear decks don't exist, then the fair matchups just become about like outvaluing each other, and then you're just playing standard. And, you know, standard is fine, but like I really feel like the identity of Modern is very heavily tied to the linear decks, and I think Modern is definitely better off with them. I think this is my sideboard plan. Could maybe cut the 3rd Kroxa and play the 3rd Voidwalker. Voidwalker is better on the play, but you can sometimes erase. Kroxa's not particularly good though. I could play the 1st Thoughtseize over like 3rd Kroxa. Do that. Yeah, but Footfalls is good against the deck I like. That's definitely something I think most Modern players fall into. I definitely experienced the same thing where, like, my first competitive Modern deck was Grixis Delver by Caleb D, and I had a terrible burn matchup. And, like, the card Searing Blaze just infuriated me. I'd cast Young Pyromancer, and they'd Searing Blaze it, and I'd just be like, how Wizards is destroying Modern by letting this card still be legal, you know? Not really that dramatic, but... That's something that I think most players come to realize. It's like, is the deck that you're bothered by actually unhealthy for the format? Sometimes it is. Or is you just have a bad matchup against it with the deck you play, you know? You just have a bad matchup. What does linear deck mean in this case? So usually a linear deck is something that tries to find one game plan that's usually not interactive and executed every single game. So like, Mono Green Tron is a somewhat linear deck. The Cascade decks Living In is very linear. It just really does one thing, especially game 1. Is Terminate for Murktide? Yes, it is. Is the instant speed worth more than the versatility of Dreadbore? Yes, it is. Instant speed matters a lot more than Dreadbore, especially when you have 3 Unholy Heats to kill Planeswalkers. Do not put Dreadbore in your deck. Unimpressed, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Appreciate you, buddy. And then non-linear decks are decks like I'm playing now, where my draws are always going to be like very different, where I, you know, or maybe not all that different, but like I can play a more reactive or proactive game plan depending on the matchup. Like in this matchup, I'm playing a very reactive game plan usually, where I'm trying to kill all my opponent's creatures and then stick a threat and win. Where against like Tron, I'm trying to play a much more proactive game plan and try to kill them as quickly as I can. Unimpressed, thank you for your subscription. I feel like I've been double. Not that this is a problem. I feel like I've been saying thank you twice a bunch lately. Like Mad Cat package at the moment? Not really, no. Why did you up Dancy to 400 subs? So we got in one stream like 250 subs. And it was a lot, and it was just like it felt like a bit lame to keep the bet at 200 when I got 250 subs in one stream. So I figured I'd just take all of those gifted subs, right, and just put them all towards the bet. I could get a little bit greedy and try to get a 2-for-1 off the explosives. I think that should be fine. Lieutenant, Thalia, Recruiter. A little bit greedy, right? Adam, thank you for your 4-month resub. Appreciate you. I intend to take Jeskai Murktide to a tournament this Sunday. Is the version of today's YouTube video the most recent one? Yeah, it should be, yeah. It should be. I didn't upload the YouTube video. I don't know exactly what list got posted, but I've only played that deck once in like the last couple weeks. So that should be the... I can't imagine that it's not up to date. So if I draw a land, my opponent said oops. Ah. That explains the oops. I mean, I know my opponent has Thalia's Lieutenant in their hand. So I think I'm going to take 6 here. And then, you know, maybe kill something that's not Lieutenant and then explosives them. Oh, they're not going for it. Wow. Oops again. PDAF, thank you for 3 months. Hope you have a good day, buddy. Yeah, I really like the Jeskai Murktide control deck. Maybe we'll have a control day tomorrow. No Lurrus to hand. No, I wanted to be able to Lightning Bolt to Mantis Rider. We're like really cold to Mantis Rider here. Okay, we can cast this. Just get them empty-handed. Oh no, I mean it costs 2 mana though. Maybe I should have killed the Hierarch. Yeah, I've got to play the explosives first. Then I'm probably fine taking 4. Any thoughts on blue-white control? I like that deck. I like it. Think it's good. My main thoughts. Yeah, I think we can just take 4. And this way they'll leave cards in their hand to discard the Tourach. Yeah, with Thalia, like, this makes explosives cost 1 more, but explosives cares about the number of colors spent to cast it. So we cast explosives X equals 1. It costs 1 more with the Thalia, and we spend a second color when we pay that price there. Gotta pay the price. And Tourach is great. Okay, they drew a spell. I guess I could just Lurrus that away. Is losing the bet bad for me? I mean, it's like, it's $1,000 bad, you know? It costs $2,000 to get 400 subs, and then, Twitch keeps half that, roughly. So it is bad to lose the bet. Yes. The life of a Twitch streamer is not quite that good. Yeah, I think a lot of people seem to think prelate stops spells of all mana value. Yeah, huge content for sure, yeah. I feel like you know I could maybe get up to Caleb viewers one day and maybe Caleb would be good to talk about. Yeah, you definitely can at my size. Yeah, maybe I'll do it. You know, I'm also like not doing bad. It couldn't hurt to ask, right? Isn't Kroki's the most famous MTG streamer? Well, yeah, but that's the thing is like Kroki's and LSV get like twice the viewers I do, right? And like they are in a different tier. So my experiences negotiating with Twitch, I think would be different than if I like talked to someone who had like around my viewership, you know. Usually, if I have more discard spells, I like to lead on the I like to lead on the discard spell. We're playing against Living End. We do have a lot of sideboard cards for the matchup, and we do have a hand here that has Voidwalker. But my opponent, I guess if they... Hold on. Voidwalker's always so weird in this matchup. Where, like, it might actually be right for me to Inquisition my own Voidwalker here. And that just turns off... that turns off Shardless Agent, and then they have to kill me in one go. If you type !deck in the chat under, you can find this deck list in the Stream Decker, but Stream Decker has been a little weird, so that might not be working for you, but it should. All right, they drew another Grief. If I cast Voidwalker, they get to go Cycle, Street Wraith, Architects of Will. And then that's probably enough for them to go untap Living End and just kill me. Or the Murktide's list recent? Yeah, we 5-0'd with Murktide today. House Ulterior Reanimator, not well, unfortunately. How does Voidwalker in the graveyard turn off Shardless? So, okay, so if Voidwalker is in the graveyard, your opponent casts Shardless Agent. It doesn't turn it off, but they shouldn't cast it. Where... They cast their Shardless Agent, they cast their Violent Outburst, and then they're Living End, and then Voidwalker comes back into play and exiles their Living End with the Void counter, and then you can use Voidwalker to cast Living End, and that stops their Living End. All right, so let's see what there is in their hand, because I might have to Thoughtseize my own Voidwalker. I guess I should have Thoughtseized them instead. I should have Thoughtseized them instead. That was a mistake. But let's just get the Voidwalker in the yard. So now what they have to do is they have to Violent Outburst, and they have to kill me with the Violent Outburst immediately. Because if they don't, I'll just be able to untap and Voidwalker if I can take a hit. If they have Violent Outbursts, you're a little screwed. They have Fairy. No, they don't. Fairy Macabre. They don't have Fairy Macabre in their hand. I'm not sure what the confusion is, but that was not a card in their hand. So they don't have 16 points of damage in their yard, so if they have Violent Outburst here, it's not going to kill us, right? They had. Oh, I forgot about the Street Wraith. 9 plus 7 is exactly 16. Damn it. Forgot about the Street Wraith. Right, 6, 10, exactly 16. Bummer. We do have a lot of sideboard cards, though. I actually kind of like Kolaghan's command in this matchup because you can target yourself and discard a Voidwalker in response to Living End. Show us the interaction? I can't because I'm just dead. I can't show you the interaction. I just die before I can do it. They attack me for 16 before I can untap with Voidwalker. Maybe I was supposed to play the Darcy after the Inquisition. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I was also supposed to Thoughtseize them instead of Inquisition them. Spellbomb not good right now. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just kind of choosing to play more focused. I mean, I have 4 Voidwalker in my main deck, so like you don't really need the Spellbombs. Which matchups am I most excited to have Dauthi in? This one, and then against Tron and Titan. Those are the main ones. All these decks are pretty popular. Yeah, but if we had a yeah, we definitely could have won that game. Living It is always such a headache to play against. Why do we not side out any Bauble when bringing 4 cards that nullify them? Well, because like all these other cards that we're already boarding out suck. Like Terminate, Unholy Heat, these cards are really bad against them. So honestly, I would even want to like, you know, trim more on like the lightning bolts before bringing in any of these other cards. Yes, Bauble's awkward with these cards, but you know, it's only bad when you top deck them. This hand's probably a keep. I think I want to Inquisition. No, if they have Fairy Macabre, it's bad to Inquisition ourselves. We could probably just lead on Channeler. We can miss a land drop and still like try to surveil into 1 off the Channeler next turn. And then we can maybe get to the point where we can kill our own Voidwalker. Why Tron and Titan? Because you can discard their big stuff with and then cast it for 0 mana with Voidwalker. We missed. I'm gonna Thoughtseize here over Inquisitions, and sometimes you just have nothing that you can hit. It's a good hit. Oh, they kept the 1-lander. So 2 Violent Outbursts. We have 2 more discard spells for these Violent Outbursts. I kind of want to take the Street Wraith, because that's the 0 mana cycler when they're stuck on lands here. Would Fulminator be okay? Multicolor destroys the land. It's not enough. Fulminator Mage is not like playing 4 Fulminator mages in your sideboard. You're still like very unfavored against Tron. It's like really not even that close, honestly. They're just like really good at beating like even 2 Fulminator mages, especially if you're on the draw, which you will be in one of your sideboard games. It's honestly pretty sick if they like kept in Force of Negation here and they draw exactly like land Force of Negation. What are you gonna do? Lose, I guess. Now my Channeler has flying. Kind of funny to see Channeler with flying, but not +2/+2. So it might be good to just double discard both their Violent Outbursts? Or should we play Voidwalker first? I think I'm gonna just cast 1 Inquisition, see if anything has changed. Cause like they might have drawn a Borrower, and then we could just replay the Void Mirror if they Petty Theft. Alright, let's just take both the Violent Outbursts. Play Voidwalker and have Bolt Up. I think I'll do that next turn. That could be fine too. I don't think that's unreasonable. But just taking both their Violent Outbursts seems good to me. Bolt for Delirium. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I can't anymore, but I should have maybe considered it. It was a pretty fast clock if I did that. Okay, so they're trying to draw into Borrower and then Petty Theft the Void Mirror and then top deck a Violent Outburst. Subtlety on top. They were not able to do that. So their hand is Architects, Subtlety, Living End. Why am I scared for Outburst this turn if playing Voidwalker accelerates my clock so much? Well, if my opponent has drawn Brazen Borrower and they get 2 looks at it, they get to just Petty Theft the Void Mirror and I just lose. But now because I've taken both Violent Outbursts, they need to draw an answer to Mirror and a Cascade spell in order to combo, which makes it a much more difficult than giving them a window to draw a Borrower or Foundation Breaker or an answer here. And now I think I'm still gonna Thoughtseize just in case they've drawn the Borrower, because I feel like that's the only way we lose. They have you know, they have 3 new cards from what we saw last time. What do you think of the Blue-Tron Prisony deck that's being played more? I have no thoughts, no comments on that. Gain Delirium here would be really nice. Okay. Them conceding is also pretty nice, huh? I feel like they conceded probably because they had an answer to Void Mirror, like Petty Theft, and they didn't want me to like know how they were sideboarding, maybe. Alright, let's go. Game 3 is definitely harder on the draw. How would Voidwalker be in the sideboard instead of Lantern? Bad. Where black is hard to cast, and then Lantern is like largely in that sideboard for Kroxa mirrors, when like Lantern's better against Kroxa mirrors than Voidwalker. And, I mean, Voidwalker would be fine against E-Tron, but it's like Voidwalker is a much better mainboard threat against them. Force of Vigor in hand? Possibly. Possibly. I mean, if they had Force, maybe they didn't have a green card to pitch, and they didn't want me to know about the Force. Void Mirror is pretty good against Force, because they have to spend 4 mana on it. What card do you think 8-Rack needs to become more competitive? I mean, it's an unknown card, right? I mean, honestly, 8-Rack players should probably be cutting Liliana and playing Kroxa, like 3 or 4 Kroxa in the, you know, and have that fill a similar role that Liliana did, and then play Lurrus as a companion, is I imagine what 8-Rack players should be doing. You maybe can play Saga too, but maybe not. He plans to play Wreck in the near future? Yeah, I think so. I'm kind of working on a budget Reclamation deck for Channel Fireball too. How would Dauthi be in Grixis deck? Oh, sorry, I answered that. Playing a Wreck with Prismatic Engine makes it much easier. Yeah. A lot of explosives too. But I mean, that's how I would build the rack, because I'd play Kroxa and Lurrus. Be very similar to this deck. Saga's nuts in 8-Rack? I believe it. I believe that it's fine, at least. How do you think Black-White Pox is against Tron? It's kind of a close matchup. Probably slightly there, slightly in their favor. If you play Saga and 8-Rack, you probably don't play 4 copies of the rack. You probably play like 2 or 3. Probably 3 at least. Destroy target land, 18 months. Appreciate ya. Insert relationship joke here. Thank you. Insert thank you here. Oh, this hand slaps. I really don't enjoy this matchup very much because it just feels so... There's... I don't know. Like, some of their draws are just, like, so unbeatable, you know? I don't do donation decks, Francis. I did once upon a time. Long ago. So them cycling main phase means they want to grief. Either they want to draw grief, or they want to draw a different black card to pitch to grief. Which is pretty bad with because I only have 1 hate card. I guess, I mean, the Voidwalker can function as a hate card, but it's probably too slow if they have grief. They grieve pitching Architects of Will. So one thing we can do here is we can skip our turn and skip our next turn too to discard Voidwalker to hand size, which is probably not the play, but might be the only way we have a chance to win this game. I mean, they're not necessarily gone forever, but I don't know. I just don't necessarily see me bringing them back anytime soon. I think that after the trophy race, you know, there's going to be some changes to the structure of the stream a little bit. I would like to keep trying to innovate and move forward a little bit. And I'm honestly just like worried if I do donation decks, there's going to be a lot of them I mean, obviously I'll like some of them, but I just know that like with the size of the channel, there's gonna be there's gonna be more requests, and there's gonna be a lot of them that I just won't want to play, and that's gonna be a pain too. To like spend the time like sifting through, saying no to a lot of people is obviously not a lot of fun. They took Channeler? Okay, so they have an answer to the Chalice, but we drew Thoughtseize. I can't believe they took Channeler. Okay, they have double Foundation Breaker. So we'll just take Waker of the Waves. Just charge Jim Davis levels of money for dono decks? I guess. I don't know. It's not all about the money, you know. Just mostly about the money. When's a good time to redeem a deck tech? Anytime, really. Yeah, at least with the trophy race, I'm not... I mean, yeah, if you want to wait till after this league, that's fine. Because we are kind of in a tense spot, I guess. Alright. So if they living ends, they get to take my Lurrus. I have a Channeler in play against... Yeah, I probably lose to Cascade Spell here, unfortunately. So now I can kill my Voidwalker at instant speed. Isn't it better to sacrifice Voidwalker? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, I should have cast Lurrus first. I know that they have another Foundation Breaker. So play Channeler. Yeah, I guess it's probably just better to not do anything here. I think if they had Violent Outburst, they would have already cast it, but it feels fine to just say go. Lurrus Chalice. The problem is if we Lurrus Chalice, we do probably lose to Violent Outburst there. But if they have, but like Kolaghan's command is insurance against a Cascade as well, so we can kill our own Voidwalker in response. Then Voidwalker can cast Living End. Foundation Breaker does not have Flash, no. It's the only card they have Foundation Breaker, 2 unknowns. Okay, that should make our decision, like, you know, somewhat clear here. Probably just good to graveyard any creature. Yeah, discard Lurrus too. Yeah, I really like doing donos a lot when the channel was smaller because it was just like way easier to give like chatters more individual attention, which of course I enjoy doing. But it's just, you know, it's really hard to like talk, you know, give each chatter the individual attention I'd like to with the size that the channel is now. And so that just makes donation decks so much harder. But moving on for now, we ended up beating Living End. I think Voidwalker helps a lot in that matchup compared to some of these other variants. I mean, the prediction thing's still being weird. I'll just go ahead and pull up Chrome real quick. But this match is the first match we've played in a long time. This is the first match we've played in a long time where we can catch up to Prince, which is very exciting. My conversion rate on these 5-0 matches, I know we got one earlier, but it's been really bad lately. I lost 3 times yesterday playing for 5-0. So hopefully we can turn that around. Playing a Lurrus matchup. I'm going to keep this hand. I kind of hope it's like hammer time. Alright, I got my wish. Playing Blood Crypt on 1 so I can play Voidwalker on turn 2 if I want to. I'm maybe not that likely to want to. Pretty happy to draw the second Kolaghan's command. Dude, man, I love that I'm tense right now. I love that there's like stakes for just like a league match. Feels really good. Because Magic for me is like has often been about the stakes. They tap Urza Saga and then pass phases. Weird champ. I think I'm gonna kill the Giver this turn. It's kind of close. Gambling addiction incoming. Dude, I like very consciously don't gamble because I know that I would ruin my life just with my personality. Okay, my opponent is playing very oddly, which is something I'm happy about, I guess. Verdant Catacombs, we'll shuffle. They're doing this in their upkeep. Yeah, they're definitely not playing very well. Yeah, paid Hector, Keck W. Everybody's got the same joke. They grab a hammer. And they play Sigarda's Aid. Let's see what they're drawing. Stoneforge Mystic. It's a pretty good one. It's a really good one. Another Voidwalker's not a ton of help. So I'm doing this so that if they don't have another hammer in their hand, I actually get to kill the Mystic. Otherwise, like otherwise they'll get to respond to the Kolaghan's command and save their only creature in play. Although I guess we're pretty cold to this Inkmoth next turn. Wait. They have an 8 in play and they're just casting hammer. I have a Ragavan on top. I think my opponent's just punting. I don't know. I'm just going to tap out. I think they're just throwing. Someone who's like maybe just very new to the deck. I really hope my opponent kills me here. They're 3-0. Jeez. They put Lurrus in their hand. We still need to draw something here. Which is the hard part. Can dash Ragavan. They might block. They do block. So we're dead to a land if we don't find a removal spell off of Lurrus here. Snow-covered mountain. Gonna shock to be intimidating. To believe that I'm gonna draw heat or bolt here. Yes! Let's go. We would have lost this game to literally any other Hammer Time player on the entire platform, I promise. Literally any other player on the entire platform. This game's over. So I bolt Lurrus, dash Ragavan. Guess that's not good. Yeah, I guess I need to keep up the bolts. So attack for 8s. I have first strike on my Lurrus or Ragavan to deny the lifelink and just like to win in combat here. How much is MTGO premium? Too much. So now I can Inquisition, probably take the hammer, see what the other card is. Paladin. Go ahead, bolt for the Nexus at instant speed. We lose if they draw exactly the 4th hammer, right? Yeah, we all started off as spikelings for sure. We also could definitely still lose here. They just dropped to draw the hammer. Eliza, thank you for that. Tons of gifted subs today from you and from Postboard. Thank you again. They cracked the canyon, but they tapped their Nexus. All right, I mean, obviously, everybody is at one point new to Dex. Everybody's at one point new to Magic. We would have lost to literally any other player on the client. I feel very confident. Just is what it is. No, they didn't draw the fourth hammer. They were sacking the canyon looking for it. Urzel, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. But they're 3-0. Yeah, I mean, you could be, anybody could be 3-0. What's the outside of Void Mirror compared to Chalice? Well, it's kind of like you don't want to draw, like, you know, if you play 4 Chalice, like, you can't play Chalice and Chalice, but you can play Chalice, Void Mirror, and then Chalice. Oh, sorry, Chalice and then Void Mirror. So, like, being able to get 2 in play is, like, pretty relevant. This match is also not over. Let's not get too cocky. Even though we won a game that we should not have won, you can definitely get too cocky and lose. I was going on to 1 Ragavan earlier. Maybe on the play I'll play the second Ragavan. I mean, Ragavan's actually better on the draw in some ways, where on the draw, if they play Esper Sentinel, you're pretty happy to have Ragavan and not play anything else. But on the play, you kind of rather discard Esper Sentinel. It's kind of weird that Ragavan is in some ways better on the draw of this matchup. Picard, 4 months, welcome back, appreciate you. I might even play the third Ragavan over the second Voidwalker. It's so weird to think that Ragavan's kind of better on the draw. Dreeve, thank you for 3 months, appreciate you. This is a decent matchup game. Yeah, this matchup is like kind of close game 1 and then like pretty favored in sideboard games, usually. This hand's pretty land heavy. I really like that this hand has Inquisition for Sanctifier though, so I think I'm keeping. This hand's kind of, and then if they play Sentinel, we can play Channeler on turn 1. So there's, you know, we've got a lot of games against the harder things to beat in this matchup. Hopefully they have a handful of 1-drops. They do. Draneth Magistrate, huh? Okay. So we can leave them with Sigarda's aid and try to get lucky with our explosives and then lose to them drawing a hammer because they have the Giver of Runes. Magistrate, you know, stops Kroxa and stops Lurrus. I think I'm just going to try to get them with the big explosives here. Does have Voidwalker too, yeah. Well, that doesn't stop them from doing anything. Just going to pass. Can't we just keep Terminate up next turn? If they have Giver to stop Terminate. EE on 1 hold heat. No, it's way better to like hold the EE this turn to like make them commit more if they draw another Giver Springleaf. They didn't draw the hammer. So I can pop the explosives now to try to deny them double white because we killed the drum. They have double white with the canopy though. I mean, if they're just gonna go Lurrus, get back Magistrate, obviously it does kind of stink. I mean, I can leave the Magistrate in play, just heat the Lurrus. Okay, they played the canopy that we didn't know about. They should have played the Horizon canopy because that was the one we did know was in their hand. Pop now, don't greed. It's not greedy. It's like my even if I pop now, my opponent they get to go. What? They're not getting back Magistrate? If I popped now, they get to go Lurrus, get back Giver. Oh, I guess they didn't because they didn't have enough white. But they could have gone Lurrus Drum. They would have gotten value off the Lurrus, is what I'm saying. And then this like stops them from. If I pop immediately, they can have aid a hammer and just kill me, which is not quite ideal. Keep that. Okay, I think we're very ahead, huh? And his Canopy, 2 mystery cards. It's a question of drum, win equity versus magistrate. Well, it's more than that, right? Because like holding up the explosives does beat if their hand is exactly Sigarda's Aid Hammer, and it also stops them from playing any other 1-drops in their hand that turn, which has value. Did really not kill Inkmoth? When could we have killed the Inkmoth? Because they had the Giver up, right? We'll probably play one more league today. Maybe. Might be a good spot to finish the stream on. We'll see. Win equity. I see. Yeah. You could have terminated it. They tap Giver to drum. I see. Or I mean, were we supposed? They have 2 in Nexuses though. I don't think we're supposed to kill one there. Nexus, like they're not gonna beat us with like poking in for 1 infect every turn. I might life total control for a league since that one. I mean, this deck's also pretty fast. Yeah, I'll do one more league. I'll do one more league after this, but if I lose, I'm out. You know, I'm not gonna drop and then do another one. Well, that does stop my Lurrus, so I guess I'm killing it. And then if I... So Lurrus... If they have a hammer, this is kind of awkward. I guess I'll terminate because I have hammer answer going forward with the Lurrus explosives. Red Beretta, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate ya. Guess I'm keeping another one. So maybe all explosives on 0 this turn. Terminate plays around hammer. Yeah, but my mana is like a bit weird next turn. Where this turn it's like, I mean, drawing the heat is like is a bit different, but I couldn't EE on 1. Oh, I could EE on 1 to hold up the thing. I don't know. I think this is fine. I'm just gonna clear the Midnight this turn, hold up double heat. We should be fine. My opponent's like definitely inexperienced with the deck. Okay, we have explosives to deal with this. What makes you say they're inexperienced? They've made a lot of lines this game that experienced players wouldn't make. It's been like the whole match of like they're doing things all at sorcery speed. They had a Sigarda's Aid in play, and they just like cast hammers with no creatures to put them on. It's been a few different things, but it's been pretty consistent through this league that it seems like they're inexperienced. Keep that one. Yeah, we would have definitely lost game 1 to a more experienced player. It wouldn't even be that close. Playing Sanctifier to E. I mean, like, what? I mean, in this game, what are they supposed to do? They're like really behind. Should play to your outs. I don't know. I feel like it's just a bit nitpicky here. I think to criticize my opponent too much for playing the Sanctifier probably isn't that fair. But we got this match. We have caught up to Prince. It's, you know, it's been we've been behind for like over a week now, like 10 days. We're finally caught back up. This race is, you know, of course, super far from being over. We've got a long way to go, but it's all tied up. Let's go. Feels really good. Feels really good. See my name back at the top of the board for probably only like 20 minutes, right? But this deck I think is very good. When does the challenge end? September 15th. Ooh, Jeweled Lotus. Jeweled Lotus.